Hey everybody, it's Suzanne. I've got a real quick recipe for you. This recipe, I've worked at this for months and months and months. It wasn't so quick forthcoming, but it's a quick recipe if you want to make your own deodorant. And there's a lot of awareness out there now with breast cancer and the aluminum in the deodorants, and some of us choose to make our own. And I finally, process of elimination, add this, add that, taken recipes. I don't know how many I had in the beginning. I just kept working with the recipes. Some of them were disasters, and finally I got it, and I'm happy about that. And so I'm going to share it with you. It's good to get everything all prepared, all set up. These tubes here, if you only want to make a little bit, and this is a small recipe that I'm going to give you in a little bit, but these tubes here, I got them on Amazon, but you can get them wholesale cheaper if you buy quantity. The only thing that I didn't like about these was they come like this with this little disc thing that goes in this hole, and if you forget to put that in, then when you pour your deodorant in there, guess what? It just comes right out the bottom. And it also has to snap and click. You have to hear it. I only did that once. That's not bad. Okay, so the recipe I'm going to give you is a single batch, which is the one I've been making right along now for a couple months or 6 weeks or so. But today I actually doubled that batch. I'm going to be busy all week, and I just didn't want to make another batch. So one batch makes 6, and a double batch, or one batch makes 3, and a double batch should make 6. I've been using this, and I really, really, really love it. I mean, absolutely love it. But it's taken a while to get to this part. All right, measure out everything. This would be the sodium bicarbonate baking soda. Measure it all out. When you do measure, always do, very important, always do the level teaspoon when you're measuring. Put it in there and then like that, so it's level. Put it through a strainer just like this, and it just makes for a nice smoother batter, if you want to call it batter. Alright, so everything like that I strain, and I prepare ahead of time. And I've already got my butters and stuff melting on my little hot plate over there, and I didn't want to start that now because then I couldn't get it all together really fast. But to make this a fast video, in my little pot over here, like this, I have been melting 4 tablespoons of cocoa butter, 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, coconut oil being organic. This stuff or other organic would be good. Alright, 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Alright, 4 tablespoons of shea butter. And again, when you measure, anything that you measure, when you scoop, like, go in and get it, and then level your spoon. Alright, so 4 tablespoons of beeswax. Now this sounds really picky, but it's the white beeswax pellets. I have used the yellow, and then the deodorant was a funky color. So, like this, and then level it off with your finger. Make your finger be your leveler. And then, so 4 tablespoons of the white beeswax pellets. If you use the yellow, you'll get something else. You get a it won't it won't change the consistency. It'll change the color of your deodorant. Alright. Then 10 tablespoons of cornstarch. And again, scoop it and level it. And then 4 tablespoons of sodium bicarbonate, which is your baking soda, and put it in here. Thus, you strained it. And 1 teaspoon of vitamin E oil. And you will need, when you get to that part, 1 mil, or 3 mils, which is 1 pipette, up to the 3 mil, which is the top line of fragrance oil, essential oil. 8 capsules. They're these. I'm sure there's a way to get these cheaper. If you can start with these, find all the ingredients to what's in this product. Worked good for me. So they come like thus, and you want 8 capsules. You're going to break open the capsules. This is how they look. You're going to pull them apart, and let's see if I can get you to see. I pull them apart, and this is the cornstarch. So let me see if I can put this down so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so there's my cornstarch, and everything is, like I said, all weighed out. And then you just open up the capsule just a little, just gently, and just go back and forth, and it opens like that, and then you dump that. Now, as you go and you find out all the ingredients in here, I ran out, so I quickly went to Walmart today and went and got this, but see, and then they're empty. So I'm sure there's a way that you could figure out what you want to use for probiotic, but this recipe is 8 of those capsules that I just showed you. Alright, so, and actually that is it. That will make 3 of these containers. And I see I'm crooked here, but alright, I put a hairnet on when I'm doing stuff like this. I put always gloves because I don't want my fingernail to break off. I have worse fingernails. And so I always put like gloves on, and I'm good to go here. The dry ingredients into a container, and then this was the sodium bicarbonate, and this is the cornstarch. I measured it out because I'm making double, so. Alright. But for you, start out single. Do the single. I gave you the single version. And if you want to double it, fine. If you don't, you can do whatever you want. I gave you the single. That's what I've been doing for quite some time. It works beautiful. It just finally got it. So melt your butters. This is your cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter. This is how it looks. This is how it looks. Well, maybe I'll put some light on it. Okay, this is how it looks. It's all melted down. And cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax, vitamin E oil. It's all in here. It's all melted liquid. Alright. Then, and you can just use a little spatula, works good. And you want to switch and get yourself a little whisk. This is the, I've gone through many stick blenders, and this was, and many blenders, or mixers too, hand mixers. So these are good to save. And you're gonna whip it. So let me first add my fragrance. Yesterday, or no, day before, I made patchouli essential oil. Today I'm doing lavender. And a few days ago I did baby powder, which wasn't an essential oil, it was just a fragrance oil. But now the single recipe I gave you called for 1 pipette, or otherwise 3 mils. But don't forget, I made a double batch, so that's why you see me put 2 in here. Alright, so this one's going to be lavender. Cool. Alright. So, can you see this okay? There. Now, after I get stirring, you're going to see what's going to happen is it'll get thick, which it's supposed to and all that. So you might have to reheat it a little bit, because if it gets too thick, it's hard to work with. So after I get this all mixed up, I'm going to fill those containers half full, not all the way to the top. And it'll sit, and then I'm going to put this back on the heat and melt it a little bit. And then I'll fill the rest. So you fill half, and then you'll pound the air out of it a little bit. And then hope for it to set. And in the meanwhile, put this back on the hot plate, or however you heat it. If you use plastic, you could put it in the microwave. And I've been using stainless steel. I like it. This is the consistency. It's nice, like gravy, or I guess gravy. Now you don't, when it's at this consistency, I'll just give you a heads up, you don't pour it into there because it'll run right out the bottom. So I thought, how can I know when's a good time to pour? So temperature. Get your temperature gun out and then just keep checking. And when it gets down to between 120 and 125, somewhere in through there, that's usually a good consistency. So 130, yep, that sounds about right. So you don't want to pour this in there at 130. But it is really watery. You can see that. Okay. And so what can I say? Yeah, this was a bugger to kind of get everything down. I couldn't tell you how many recipes I had pulled out and gotten off the internet, and even some of the girls would give you a recipe, but mine just failed. I mean, it was one time it was so hard, and then the next time it was like so soft, and then it crumpled apart, and then it came away from the sides, and I just went through everything with deodorant, but finally got it, and I'm happy. So now I haven't done it yet, so this would be the most I've ever done, would be the 6 containers. But I guess if you were gonna master batch, I guess it would be interesting. As this cools, it gets thick, and I really think by running things through your sifter, or putting it through your sifting it through that and getting all the lumps out of it, I really think helps the consistency of it. So I won't be able to videotape the last part of it, but you'll fill these halfway full, like I said. Then heat this up a little bit, and then fill the rest of them to the top. And then let them cool. So let them cool naturally. Just set them aside for 24 hours, or put them in a refrigerator if you want. If you want to hurry up the process, that works too. You can do that. And so let's see what else. The ingredients, you can go like all organic, starting with your coconut oil. That's the easiest thing at Walmart. And then if you get your shea butter and cocoa butter and you happen to get organic, and then everything else, you can make a truly nice organic deodorant. So this is getting nice and thick now. So you want to go halfway full. And I think you have to work kind of quick at this point, I'll tell you, because it is thickening up as it's cooling. And you'll pound the air out of it, out of the air bubbles out too. Alright, now I'm going to put this back on, and I want it to get a little thinner here for the next pour. And you want to get the air bubbles out of here. You will love this deodorant. I did use patchouli in the one batch, loved it. You can make your own fragrance, like ginger or lemon, eucalyptus, whatever you want that won't irritate under the arms. I'm going to need this one. Okay. So, I'll line these up. If you're making deodorant on a regular basis, like selling it, or you want to go price shopping and get your supplies, wholesale pricing always saves your money. But to experiment, you can just get everything, some things at Walmart and then Amazon. And let me just see. I don't know if you could see that. Let me just move these over here. And then you can see better. Okay. So as you can see, it's kind of like a two-step process. You're going to fill the half, and then the, well, batter, for like a better word, but the batter got, you know, thick, and then you have to thin it, you know, by heating it, and then you're ready to fill some more. Now, I haven't bought deodorant in quite a long time. I've been using my all my boo-boos, and I'm also diabetic, and I apologize if you see me shaking. I just shake sometimes. Alright, so there's a little bit more in here. I'm going to melt it, and I'm going to fill a half of one, and then that will be mine. I have so many that are mine. But, and there you have it. Let me see if I can. So that's it. Oh. Alright. So that's it. Okay. So labeling is so easy. Everything is natural in here. Cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax, cornstarch, baking soda, vitamin E oil, an essential oil of your choice, the probiotics that we put in there. Yeah, what's not to like about that one? That's a good one. The ingredients are important. That's like number one. But also your leveling off, making sure everything is 1 teaspoon, totally level. Everything is measured level. You know, I have done it, I must admit, a while back. You know, I didn't like level with my finger, and maybe everything wasn't exactly measured right. Maybe it was a tablespoon and a little bit more, but I think that's not a good idea. I think to keep everything 1 tablespoon, and then measure it like the recipe says. One more time, 4 tablespoons coconut butter, 4 tablespoons coconut oil, 4 tablespoons shea butter, 4 tablespoons beeswax, 10 tablespoons cornstarch, 4 tablespoons baking soda, 1 teaspoon vitamin E oil, 1 pipette, meaning 3 mils of an essential oil, and then 8 of those capsules of the probiotic things. And don't skip anything or substitute anything. And you'll come out with a deodorant that you'll love. And the next thing is just different fragrances that you want to experiment with. And the sensitivity to the baking soda, let me tell you that. So, what I've done, the reading that's out there is they say you will be sensitive to it at first from changing from the store-bought stuff to the homemade stuff. You might get a rash. It won't stay. It probably won't happen again. If it does, just discontinue that whole idea. But try to, this is like the least amount, and there are other recipes with absolutely no baking soda. You can try them too, and you know, see what works for you. You might have some kind of sensitivity that no way can you use anything with baking soda, but try it. And don't rub really hard under your arm like some husbands have been known to do. I've read that. Mine did it too, and I told him, and I didn't really think he would do that, but I told him just lay off for like 2 days and then try it again, and then don't rub so hard underneath there. And he did, and it all worked the second time around. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's the way it is. And but it all worked, even though he got the red under the arm. And he said, I can't use that. That's no good. And I had read already that the redness does occur sometimes. It's just a sensitivity to the baking soda. But if you stick with it and just kind of try it again, you might be surprised. It might all just work out. So, okay, that's about it. Labeling is your next step, and getting a pretty label on there, and that's about it. So have a great day.